All right, we made it to the last model. Thank goodness. This is the TCP/IP model or the DoD model. But let's talk about that. I'll give you a little, before we get into the layers or the explanations or what you need to know or anything like that, let's just look at a little brief, as we did with the OSI, history on the TCP/IP model. As you know, ARPA, or as it was later on called the DARPANET, was the original back in the 50s. I believe the year was 57, right? Due to the whole thing with the Soviet Union and all that, that they had a way to network in case of a catastrophe. They were able to communicate with each other. Well, back in the 70s, well, later on in the 70s, I believe it was 73, if I'm not mistaken, TCP, the connection-oriented protocol, was taken up, and around 5 years after that, IP came around. And it wasn't until the 80s, and I really don't remember the year, I'm just going to throw a number out there, I think it's 1983, it became the TCP/IP suite. All right? The TCP/IP suite replaced those archaic protocols that were used back in the 50s and 60s and what have you. So it became the protocol of the internet. Now there was, I believe it was Berkeley University, that their scientists were working on this protocol alongside with Unix. So there's some Unix that's involved within TCP/IP as well. But TCP/IP was embraced very quickly, and it expanded. Its growth was incredible due to all the attributes that TCP/IP has, because we have a connection-oriented protocol that makes sure that we get the sequencing, the acknowledgements, the windowing, the flow control. It makes sure that the information gets there. With the IP, which is the connectionless protocol, but that's what we're talking about, IP addressing, whether we're using the IP class A addresses, class B addresses, and we'll talk that in future lessons. But the IP protocols, because we got ICMP that deals with that particular part, which is the internet layer, and we'll get that again into the next lessons. But this is how TCP/IP came about. Now they also call it the DoD because they had their part in it. So they also call it the DoD model. That can be changed. The names can be interchangeable. So this is their brief history of the TCP/IP model. They were separate protocols that later on came together and was given to a university to work on to enhance this particular protocol, and enhanced it they did. Because until the present day today, that is a protocol not only used on the internet, but used internally in every network around. So TCP/IP is here to stay, unless you guys can come up with a newer protocol that would help us route or network much better. I'll see you in the next lesson. What we'll do is now actually start breaking down the different layers of the TCP/IP model. See you there.